Tell me about the lab.
Well, firstly, in the lab itself, I mean, I had done something that even my partners had no idea what I was up to, but I knew about the hidden harmonic codes of the universe, and I remember one of my favorite experiments of Nikola Tesla's was that he tuned into a particular harmonic in the Earth itself, and he had his lab set up in Colorado Springs, and he was tied into the entire grid of the entire state of Colorado. And he said that in this particular harmonic, he actually tapped into a wave of energy that when it harmonized and came flooding into his lab and into the state, he shorted out all of the transformers in the entire state of Colorado, and he was actually kicked out of the state of Colorado. So with that, I knew that these codes existed. I knew these harmonics existed, and I found out mathematically where they are, George. I mean, virtually everywhere. Something, if we think of the evolution of the way electricity has evolved, we went from just creating huge bursts or amplitude of electricity, and then we went to frequencies of energy thanks to the Tesla coil, and that led to the birth of radio and cell phones and television, broadcasting on particular frequencies. But what I've discovered, the way the universe is really working, is there's something beyond a frequency concept, and there are actual precise harmonic codes which are multiple frequencies working in tandem together, kind of like a symphony, in precise dimensions of energy and ratios that produce something that is utterly miraculous. And it can lead to anything from anti-gravity to infinite energy, like what happened in Nikola Tesla, and in fact will revolutionize our understanding of music and communicating it over huge distances in the universe. And I've actually found out how to build a small harmonic set of wave generators that I mathematically calculated. And what I was doing was actually charging a concept of merging ancient technology with modern technology, and essentially it's stone technology. And we'll actually see how this ties into the Great Pyramids. And I know about your recent show on the History Channel. I haven't seen it yet because I don't have television, but I know this is going to be very, very exciting for your viewers. But essentially, stones, what I discovered was that they serve an actual purpose in essence, in technology. Certain stones have what's called capacitance, meaning they have the capacity to hold an electrical charge. And that is because certain stones have a quality of crystalline structure, but also Casimiri kind of metal plates in them, little flakelets of metal.
And you know what? I would not have believed it. I talked to Shelley Carr some time ago, and she's going to be on tomorrow night, ironically enough, talking about stones, David. You're absolutely right. Stones, what you think are, just sitting there, inanimate objects, they have the ability to do just about all kinds of things with sound, harmonics, you name it.
Well, because of these little micro plates of metal, and John Hutchison was very instrumental in educating me about this process, I found that, firstly, I did measurements on the electricity of the human body just using a simple voltage meter in the millivolt setting on our fingertips, thumb and index finger. You can see, I've tested hundreds and hundreds of people at the Laughlin UFO Congress, and you see people that have like MS or nervous system disorders or depression or any kind of challenging illness. They have very low current in their body. Not even, some of them are not even 1/100th of a volt, not even that. And then people who are very healthy can be as much as 1/3 of a volt or 30 hundredths of a volt. And so what I did is I realized that, certain types of stone, and we really lost touch with this from wearing rubber shoes and disconnecting with the earth, but when you touch them, because they have a little bit of charge from actual electromagnetism and capturing that electromagnetism from the sun, it raises our current just a little bit. So I found a way to program stones, little stone pendants, with harmonic code generators and actually get the code to stay there in the stone.
Amazing work, David.
And what's that?
Amazing work.
It's amazing. And when people touch them just for 2 minutes and then let them go, a person, for example, with MS who had 0.7 of 1/100th of a volt went to 5 full millivolts, which is phenomenal. And they're not even plugged into the thing anymore. And we did this hundreds and hundreds of times. So the question is, this is just a small-scale experiment because I'm going to tell you something really, really outrageous. But essentially, it was like, where is all this extra energy coming from? Why is the human body, when it touches these what I call quantum jewelry pendants, why is the body moving more electrical conductivity and the energy flow is getting better? And I'm not electrocuting people. I mean, the energy levels are very, very safe. And
I trust you.
Super athletes try to get up to 200 millivolts, so I haven't had anybody get that high except for my wife, actually. So I was really interested in how just by programming a harmonic code in a stone, this could be happening. Well, I started taking measurements with electromagnetic field meters, and I invented a new type of Tesla coil that has never been invented before. And I have 3 generators where I treat these stones in my lab. And when I pointed the meter, EMF meter, electromagnetic field meter, at my new, basically, Tesla coil, it fried it. Whereas a normal Tesla coil with millions of volts coming off of it, no problem. It utterly destroyed it. So I realized there was a huge amount of energy there. And then what I did is I decided I'm going to measure the energy going into the system versus the energy that the system is actually producing. And where most people fail with their zero-point energy machines in this huge race to zero-point energy technology is they see an increase in voltage and they think, oh my God, I've got over unity, there's more energy here, but their amperage goes down. The amperage is the amount, the quantity of the punch of an electric current. The voltage is the flow. And basically you take voltage times amperage to equal watts, or amps times volts equals watts, to know if you really have over unity. And I have all these meters, and I have these harmonic code generators that are mathematically designed
in the lab,
and this blew my mind and my partners. We saw truly 1.5 amps going in, and my meters only go to 5 amps. It only takes 2 amps to destroy a human body. 5 amps were coming out steadily. And then I went, oh my God, this explains why this field generator I created is frying my meters. In fact, it fried my voltmeters, and I had to remove stuff from the lab because it was so powerful it would destroy it. And the first thing I realized is I have over unity, and the first thing I could do with this, as it is I could actually convert water into hydrogen far more efficiently than we currently are with our conversion, running electricity.
Using this technique.
Using this technique, and that's just the beginning of where all this goes. But it ends up becoming, this huge mathematical discovery that I start getting more and more into the math, and I'm able to actually find out what the Great Pyramids really are doing and take some measurements on the pyramids, which I think you're going to be really excited about later on. But where this, let me just backtrack a little bit, because where this all started for me, and I was very conservative about this. I didn't want to go public with the discovery, and I've been working on differentials for years now. And there's a few other people, that have come to my attention through Dr. Len Horowitz and also my friend Luke Gatto, who's one of my co-researchers,
sure,
that have been kind of going in the same direction. They called it breaking symmetries, and I called it differentials. But I started doing a lot of mathematics, and it's very simple mathematics, and discovering that these differential harmonic codes were not only responsible for, utterly abundant, infinite free energy, and acted as conduits to extract energy out of the zero-point field and pull it into our physical dimension. And what I mean by that is, zero-point energy, by definition, is when you measure the actual background of space itself. Max Planck said the void of space in the year 1900, he said this to Einstein, that there was energy there, that the void was actually supercharged with an infinite amount of energy.
How did he know that?
He knew it mathematically because his formula, E equals HF, which was different than Einstein's E equals mc squared.
Okay.